Hey everyone, welcome to another live series that we have in our educational series for adding Chrome to your community. Today's a little bit earlier, but remember we have our networking event today, so we wanted to just jump on here early with Anna. So Anna, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, I'm so glad you are here. If you guys don't know about Anna, she is amazing. I've done a lot of deep diving into her website and kind of saw all the things that she's been doing over the couple years. So, Anna, kind of explain to us what you do and who you help.
Yes, I am a digital marketing wizard. I like to call myself that. I've had over 7 years of experience in digital marketing, and my zone of genius is Facebook and Instagram ads for online business owners.
And I think that's a really important aspect of, especially during the pandemic. I'm sure a lot of people were buying ads to stand out, but there is a right and a wrong way of doing Facebook ads, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So I think it's important that people have approach to it. So we talk about in our group, because a lot of people in the group are product-based business owners, we talk a lot about visibility and knowing who your audience is. Is that true with Facebook and Instagram ads, like knowing who you're going to target?
The audience part, I will say the audience part of Facebook ads could be one of your most important parts, because if you don't truly know who your audience is, what their interests are, and their behaviors, you could be getting in front of the wrong people through ads, and you could be wasting a lot of money without even knowing it.
And I think that's money is a very big aspect, because you're already spending so much in your business. You don't want to be wasting anything. So when we talk about Facebook ads or Instagram ads, whichever one you want to talk about, what's the first approach you help your clients with? So do you help them with the whole process of setting up Facebook ads? Do you just help them get started and then they do it on their own? How do you work with them?
So the first thing when people reach out to me, this is how it works. And I'm very honest with the people that reach out to me for Facebook ads help. The first thing that I always advise before you do Facebook ads is make sure you have a proven offer or a proven product, right?
Right.
Because if your product doesn't sell or is not selling yet, Facebook ads is not going to be that magic pill that's just going to bring you in the sales, which a lot of people approach Facebook ads that way. And they end up thinking Facebook ads doesn't work, but maybe what you have is not a really good product that sells. So before you give your money to Facebook ads, please do the work and the job to sell organically. There's so many different ways you can use your organic audience and your friends to prove your product and make sure it sells. Once you have a proven product, then you're ready for Facebook ads, because that's your fastest way to scale.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way that I help my audience is I can either offer the ads management part of the business, which is done for you. But this requires them to have like a good number, at least like 5 to 10 and 15K a month sales before they hire an ads manager. Because I always recommend to spend at least 3,000 a month for ad spend plus the ads management fee. And if the company is not there yet, and if they hire an ads manager a little too early, they're gonna be in the back of their head. They're gonna be worried about advertising budget and everything that comes with it, and you don't want to put that stress behind a campaign. When the business owner is not there yet to hire an ads manager, I do offer my coaching package where I walk my audience, like I take their hand and walk them through how exactly do Facebook ads the right way. So I offer one-on-one where I teach them how to set up their ads account, how to set the tech part properly for iOS 15, all those changes that came after the Pixel. And then I teach them how to do the audience, how to really get in front of the right audiences, how to target them, and how to set up the campaigns and how to analyze them.
Awesome. That's amazing. So my biggest thing is I talked about on Instagram Live about Facebook live sales. So a lot of product-based business owners do live sales because like with the pandemic, they couldn't sell in person, or some people just honestly don't want to spend their whole weekend set up selling stuff. So if they don't have already a 5K to 10K monthly income through their business, would walking them through step by step, is that an offer, or would that be something they wouldn't want to spend money on ads for their life?
Yes. So I always recommend every business owner, no matter how much money you're making from your business, to learn Facebook ads first before you outsource them, because you want to make sure that the person that you hire is good enough to sell your product. You don't want to be wondering if what's not working, my product is not selling, the ads aren't working, but you don't know if the person is doing a good job or not. Can I tell you how many times I've dived into my clients' accounts only to find that the campaigns weren't set up properly by the prior person, or they were targeting the wrong audience. And that's pretty painful because my clients were spending money. So if you're making $2,000 a month on sales, you're ready to scale through Facebook ads. So it's like you have a proven offer. So I will highly recommend you to try Facebook ads. Find somebody that knows and that has the experience. For example, me, I've managed over $6 million in ad spend. So find somebody who has the experience to coach you. So from the start, you know exactly what to do. I find a lot of business owners who want to do Facebook ads, and they just think it's like pushing buttons, and they just go into the ads manager and they set up all their ads, and there's no working. But the most important part of Facebook ads is the strategy. It's easy to go in and try to figure it out, like what buttons to push and where to upload the picture and the objectives and all that stuff. But if you don't have a strategy in place, you're gonna be spending a lot of money until you figure out what works and what doesn't work. So the fastest way for me, for somebody to do, is to hire somebody that has the experience so they can properly train you into how to get the best results for your money.
And it's the same thing that I talk about all the time, because me being a photographer, everyone's like, well, we have these phones and we can use our phones to take pictures. But like, you can be spending hours on top of hours trying to figure out the best angle or the best lighting, the best props. And you're spending all that time, which is equivalent to money. So you'd be doing the same thing with Facebook ads if you don't reach out to someone who knows what they're doing. Like for me, so I'm running a Facebook ad for an event that we're having, and I didn't hire anyone to teach me how to do anything. I didn't do any of that stuff, but I'm already seeing success. But could I see more with someone who's a professional? Yes. But do I have the budget to hire someone? No, I don't have all that. But over time, as I see more and more need for Facebook ads and want to scale, just like you said, I'm gonna have to reach out to someone who knows what they're doing. And just because someone says, hey, I can teach you about Facebook ads, doesn't necessarily mean they know what they're talking about. Because like you said, you had clients who they had everything set up wrong and they had a quote unquote professional. So it's really important to get to know that person before you hire them to do the Facebook ads. So you said you've been doing this for a couple of years now. What did you do beforehand?
Oh, so I have a long story to get to where I am today. I was the head of digital marketing and e-commerce for a medium-sized fashion company in New York. I live in New York. But if you can hear my accent, I'm from South America. I'm from Colombia. I came to the States like 13 years ago. I needed to learn English in order to graduate. So I came to an exchange. I met who is my husband now, but I went back home to finish college. So we dated long distance for a year and a half. I graduated from school, and then I came here with a fiancé visa. We got married, and then I had two choices. I could either get an unpaid internship, or I could get a nanny job and start making money right away. I chose to go with the unpaid internship because I knew that's what was gonna get me the experience to get a paying job once I got my work permit. Otherwise, I would just keep, like, I cannot tell you how many Latin women are here with a business degree or a college degree, being a nanny or doing something else because they just think there's nothing else they can do. So and that's one of my passions. That's part of what I do to show other women that there is more possibilities for themselves. So I got that unpaid internship. The day after I got my work permit, the company where I was doing the unpaid internship, they hired me, and that was a media buying company. So when I was an intern, I was doing a lot of Facebook ads reports and Google ads report, and I loved the digital world. But I was also helping with radio buy-in and TV buy-in. And when I got hired as an assistant, I was the assistant for radio buy-in and TV buy-in, and then they promoted me to media buy-in. But I knew I really liked more the digital part of the business, that the Facebook and the Google ads and all that stuff, more than the radio and the TV part. So I started getting very lonely, and my husband's family, we were living in Baltimore at the time. My husband's family is from New York. So I told my husband, we either move to New York, near to your family, or we moved back to Colombia because I miss my family. And we both started looking for a job in New York. He was a teacher at the time, so he found a job before I did. So I'm like, if I'm moving to New York, I need to find a job in fashion because my family has a fashion business in Colombia and I love it. So, and if you're moving to New York, like, why not? So yeah. I knew I wanted to find a job in fashion and digital marketing because that's what I wanted to focus on. I knew I had the background mostly on media buy-in for radio and TV, but my passion was digital. So 3 months after looking for a job, I got a recruiter contact me, and she literally posted, like, sent me an email with everything that was on my resume. And I thought she, like, copied to the T everything that was on my resume. And she just, that's like the position they were looking for, a job as an associate for a fashion company that will help with the digital marketing side of the business.
Which is exactly what you want.
So I interviewed with her. It was amazing. And then I interviewed with the owner. And an hour after the interview with the owner, they called me and they offered me a job. So I started as an associate, and then 2 months into my job, I pulled the trigger, sending them a Google Analytics report with everything that was going on the website. At the time, the website was making, I think, less than $300,000 a year, and they had another 4 brick and mortar stores. So they were, like, so amazed with the report that I sent to them that I could start focusing more on the Google AdWords part of the business. And then by the time, it was a lot of Facebook ads boosting. And I realized that when we will do ads for Facebook, the revenue will increase a lot more than the boosting. So I started training more. I got a degree from Duke University on digital marketing. They promoted me to head of analytics. And then they promoted me to head of e-commerce and digital marketing for the website, and to oversee some stuff that was going in the brick and mortar stores. So I worked with them for 7 years, but at the end, I had my son. He was 18 months, and I could just, like, see myself sitting at a desk all day. And I kept saying to myself, there's more than this. I helped that company grow from 300,000 a year to over 1 million.
Wow.
So I was thinking, like, if I can help them do this, how many other business owners I can help? Right. So I went to my boss's office and I'm like, listen, I'm thinking to open up my own agency. I think I'm pretty good at this and I can help other businesses. And he's like, well, and it was 2018. COVID wasn't nothing yet. So he's like, the first ones to go in a recession are consultants, and starting a business is really hard. I really wouldn't recommend it. And I had asked for a raise like a month before. And he's like, So he called me back. I left his office. I never gonna forget. He called me back and he's like, and that raise that you asked for, I'm gonna give it to you, not because of what you just told me, but because I think you deserve it. And they promoted me to the executive team. And I loved my corporate job, but I wanted that freedom. I wanted that freedom to go home whenever I wanted to Colombia, to just be with my baby whenever I wanted. Just the freedom, you know. So I ended up going back to my boss's office a week later, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna try to open up my own agency, and that was in 2018. And the last day at my corporate job, my boss called me and he said, we want to be your first client. So they hired my agency. They were my first client.
That is awesome.
I know. So they hired my agency for the Facebook ads and digital marketing part of the business. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Oh my God. Yes, it's a long story, but it makes sense. You have to tell the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching the comments as you've been commenting, as you've been talking, and everyone loves your accent.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful. And they talk about everything you're hitting is very key when it talks to marketing in general. So they believe you're very knowledgeable and everything, which I already knew you were. That's why I brought you on, because I wanted to have you on. And but the biggest thing I want to ask you, because you actually kind of segued into it, is you talked about the freedom you have of running your own business, but what keeps you going? So like when the pandemic hit, a lot of people got really burnt out. So because they had to do a million and one things. You're a mom, you run a business. What keeps you going? Why do you keep doing what you're doing?
Oh, it's such a good question. So there are three things that keep me going. The first one is my kids, right? I want to show my kids that they can do whatever they want. If they want to find a corporate job, that's great. But if they just want to follow their dreams, that's great too. And it, like anything they want to, they can achieve. And I just want to show them that path. The second thing is I believe Facebook ads can create a really good ripple effect for amazing business owners that have a big purpose. So I only take on clients that believe they have a big purpose, and they're not only in for the money that the products sell, but they're here to make a bigger impact. So if I can help those people make a bigger impact, be even bigger impact by helping them scale their company, that's a huge ripple effect on the amount of people that they will be reaching. And the third thing that keeps me going is what I mentioned before, that I want to be able to empower more women to show them what's possible for them, and the possibilities that they can have.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really important that you constantly, and I tell people all the time, you have to know your why. So even if it gets really hard and really tough, you have to know your why. And if your why is powerful enough, you will have the willpower to keep doing what you're doing. Because like you said, you loved your corporate job. You were constantly moving up in the company, and then you just left. And you did it on your own. And some people were like, but you had all this money and everything. But you felt like there was a deeper purpose within you.
Yeah, and listen, I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I just knew I wanted my freedom. And if I didn't take the leap, I was never going to do it. I was never going to quit my job because it was way too comfortable. And it's like that saying, like leap and then it will appear. And then once I quit, like the clients started coming and things started coming together. So yeah.
So before we go, I want you to kind of give us 3 minor tips that you would give to business owners who are thinking about hiring someone to run their ads, but don't know if they're ready to do that, or if they don't want to get coached. What are some things they need to do to get prepared to hire an ads?
Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is learn Facebook ads. There are a lot of resources on YouTube. If you don't have the budget yet to pay for a coach, they get a lot of people who take courses, and then they're like, they want the 101 because they want somebody holding their hand and showing them what to do in Facebook, because Facebook is updating things every time. And the courses talk a lot of like how to do it, how to set up, but not a lot about the strategy, which is what people are missing.
Mm-hmm.
So go on YouTube. I have a lot of trainings on my website. I have a blog where I walk you through what to do. You can go onto annakatsdigital.com and click on the free download. And the main thing that you have to do to be successful on Facebook is learn how to properly walk your audience through a funnel. Don't ever try to sell to a cold audience, because your cost per acquisition is going to be very expensive and you're going to be burned out, wasting a lot of money. People want to do business with people, right? It doesn't matter if you sell products or services. They want to, more than the product, they want like a why. Why are they buying? Why am I buying this pocketbook? Why am I buying this product? So build a relationship with the audience, and you can do that through Facebook ads. You can do that through a video view campaign, through an engagement campaign, and start building those audiences. And then you can retarget them with your product. Believe me, they're gonna be ready to buy once that you build that relationship with you. So take them from knowing from who you are, to buyers, to being raving fans who can't stop talking about your business and can't stop referring your friends because they love you so much. So that's the best way to approach Facebook ads.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that help. For anyone that is watching, I will put Anna's website in the comments so you can go to it. It should be in the Facebook event page, but if not, oh well, I'll put it in the comments so you can go to it. She has a lot of information on her website. Like I said, I always deep dive into our guest speakers before I have them come on, so I know what I'm getting myself into, because this was one of the topics I'm like, I have no idea what to talk about. I am totally lost, but I know you're the expert, so I knew that you would have some tips and tricks for everyone. So is there anything that you have, any offers that you're offering right now that are special? Is there anything, what do you want people to do? Just go to your website.
So you can go on my website. You can, if you're wondering how we can work together for either coaching, or ads management, you can go to my website, and there you can see a contact link. Just fill out the form, and either me or my team will be reaching out to you to set up a call.
Okay, perfect.
And then also, like, if I share when I'm working on my clients' campaigns, there's a lot of aha moments that I have that I just go on Instagram and create a story about it. So I'm always dropping bombs on like the best strategies for Facebook and Instagram ads. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at addingchromepodcast. Go there, and I'm always keeping everybody up to date on what's going on in the digital world.
I really appreciate you dropping some knowledge bombs on us today, Anna, and coming on. And I really appreciate you. I know we actually just met for the first time face-to-face today, so I'm glad it went so well. And I hope we keep in touch too. You never know, I may be one of your clients down the road. So thanks again for being on today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Leah, for having me.